Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is your girl Tashi, and I'm back with another video. So we're gonna be reacting to I compare British and American internet. Here's what I found. Okay, I didn't know there was a difference. Is really that much of a difference?
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all
Look
of
at
the
the
memos
kitty.
that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to the internet.
Specifically, the ways in which the act of web browsing differs on either side of the pond.
The fact
Okay.
that you're watching this video means that you, in some form or fashion, are yourself a web browser. As in somebody who browses the web, not the other kind.
And as somebody who's been chronically online while living in both countries, I've found, often to my chagrin, that certain features of the internet do get lost in translation.
For starters, there's the pronunciation of YouTube, on which I continue my march toward 1 million subscribers. And if you've not yet become one yourself, do that now! In the meantime, here are some big ways that Brits and Americans experience the internet very differently. Believe it or not, my own experiences with these differences predate my move to America.
Uh-oh.
It was the sweet summer of 1996. At 14, I had spots on my face and an Oasis poster on my wall. And for the first time,
He was so cute. Ooh, he was handsome. Not say he's not now, but you know what I mean. Like, he was handsome.
I heard one of the most magical sounds of all time. That's right, dial-up internet, or as my dad called it, the net. My American viewers might be thinking, back then, I wonder if Britain had an equivalent of America Online, perhaps something like Britain on Q. And the truth is, our equivalent of America Online was America Online, UK. As somebody who was coming of age at the dawn of this new technological era, it's easy to look back on AOL with nothing but fondness.
Not least because it prompted the second most magical sound of all time.
You've got post.
That was the voice of the British actress, author, presenter, producer and activist Dame Joanna Lumley telling me that I'd received something called an email in the most British way possible. It was only decades later I discovered that Americans were greeted with something slightly different.
You've got mail.
Oh yeah. That's how you know you old when you hear that, because we all know that sound. You got mail. That's when back then when you want to go on the internet, you have to wait till the person finished using the phone. And then I remember you used to make that noise. Y'all know that noise. That's how you know, like, that is like, how should I say? Like it's charging up or something. You know, you gotta wait till the Wi-Fi is available. You know, the internet is available. You gotta wait. So it's like, I remember that.
It's surprising.
It was hard back then.
Sooner. After all, I would have known even then that Britain and America employ different words for the delivery of letters and parcels. But also, one other major thing AOL did for me in 1996 through the medium of its chat rooms was enable my first chats with Americans.
As well as finding out that American teens were utterly divided on jagged little pill, I also picked up a stash of hip new American internet slang words.
This included mysterious abbreviations like BRB and LOL.
Little did any of us know that these observations, not to mention the internet itself, would one day prove pivotal to the success of my channel, but that's only because YouTube didn't exist yet. The same cannot be said of data brokers.
Data brokers are those entities that sell your personal data, be it your address or your phone number, to people search sites.
Thankfully for me, this is no longer a problem because in
I like his purple glasses though.
2024, I've been using Incogni.
Incogni is a personal data removal tool that not only gets in touch with those data brokers, but requests that they remove your data. And it works too. Incogni has removed my personal address, which I never made public, from more than 100 people search sites since February.
For a YouTube sensation like me, or for people with a respectable job, we simply don't have time to trudge through all of that ourselves.
If your personal details are showing up on people search websites, Incogni will help you remove them. In fact, they're giving my subscribers 60% off their annual plan. Head to incogni.com/lostinthepond to get your discount and to thereafter protect your data. The link is in my description below.
Good evening. A recent study by the Quincy Gazette found that almost 51% of British consumers prefer to shop online. This is in stark contrast to Americans, of whom only 39% said the same. Analysts fear that this could see the demise of the British high street, not to mention human willpower. Thanks, Roger. The leading reason that Brits are gravitating toward online shopping might surprise you.
In a recent study, 25% said they did it because they like not having to queue.
Up next, where did it all go wrong?
I like online shopping, to be honest. I feel like that's the best thing they could ever have, because I'm one of those people that don't have any patience at all. I miss the okay, don't get me wrong. I do miss like being able to go to the store and like try on things physically, like touch the stuff physically. I kind of miss that. The only thing I don't miss is being on the line and or not be able to find something you're looking for. So you feel like you waste your time in this store. Then you got to go to the next store and they don't have what you want. So it's like, I don't miss that at all. I like to just be online, search what I'm looking for, type it in, put my credit card in, and bam, it's going to be delivered in front of my house. That's what I like.
For Britain.
Just as online spending habits differ between Britain and America, so too does the shopping experience.
This week, to investigate the matter further, I set up 2 online accounts, one at Sainsbury's in the UK and another at Target in the United States.
Right there within
I
the
say like that.
process itself
United
was a glaring
States.
anomaly. Both retailers required me to provide an email address, my first and last name, and an account password. However, only one asked for my title, Sainsbury's. And guess what? This is in line with my own experience. In general, this particular drop-down seems to be way more prevalent on UK sites than American ones.
But what excited me most was the sheer number of options.
Mr.
Some companies do that. Some of them don't.
Mrs., Miss, Doctor, Earl, Lady, Lord, Countess, Ms., Captain, Sir, Sister, Dame,
What?
Figure and Alumni, Reverend, but alas, no YouTube sensation.
I mean, that is cool though. If you think
Against
about
my
it, that's
judgment,
cool.
I went with Lord, slightly concerned I could be breaking
That's
some
cool.
weird UK law. But before I could complete sign-up, the issue of my phone number arose. Target, to its credit, was really cool about the whole thing, saying it was optional, no problem, forget we even asked. Sainsbury's threatened me with an exclamation mark. Give us your number or you will spontaneously combust, so I had no choice.
Or, counterpoint, I had many choices of country code.
Problem was, all of the countries listed were European or not America countries, as my wife's cousin Chad calls them.
Either way, with only a US number to my name, I couldn't physically set up a Sainsbury's account.
Cat-
Which is awkward
Kate
because we
Bush
planned a whole
Bush
segment
saves
about it.
lives.
Instead,
That's funny.
let's talk about cookies. Or, as we say in Britain, biscuits. I'm talking about internet cookies.
If you visited a UK website in the last few years, chances are you were greeted by a pop-up like this one at amazon.co.uk asking you to select your cookie preferences.
This is because such cookie banners were mandated by an EU directive, prompting Uncle Toby to say, but the UK is no longer part of the EU.
Which is why the UK was forced to come up with its own almost identical Data Protection Act in 2018. Basically, it states that websites must get the user's consent over the use of cookies, which are small text files that websites store on a user's computer to remember information about their browsing activity.
Proponents of the cookie law say that these new measures will help protect people's privacy.
You'll notice that this
Privacy. I know what he was saying because I know y'all say privacy and we say privacy. Privacy.
much like British currency, is absent from the American iteration.
In the US, no such law has been passed at the federal level, which apparently has nothing to do with the harmful stereotype that Americans can't say no to cookies.
But a handful of states, including Virginia, have passed their version of the law, which is evidenced by a cookie banner on an otherwise popular dating site, Virginia is for Lovers.
Wait, no, that is in fact Virginia's tourism page.
But most of the time, web surfers in the US won't see messages like this, because the US is part of a dwindling number of countries without a national cookie law. For a country that greatly values liberty, this presents something of a paradox. Say yes to slightly better control over your online privacy, or say yes to an internet free from the tyranny of an extra click.
Let me know in the comments what you think. In other news, does this video, the one that you're watching right now about British versus American internet differences, need to be spot checked?
Sorry mate, that was a typo. It should have read, does this video need to be spell checked?
Clearly, yes.
And my attitude towards spell check,
I like the way he edited
I
that. That's
despised
cool.
when living in England, shifted after I did the same to America. You see, to this young, naive, slightly pretentious
He was
creative
so
writing student
good
of the early
looking. He was very,
2000s,
very handsome.
Red squiggly lines were an affront to my ego. I don't need you. I can spell floxy nosy nihilipilification backwards. For clarity, whether
I can't spell that. I don't know what the hell that means.
I was using Microsoft Word or browsing the internet, my spell check language, as is standard in the UK, was always set to British English.
And then it wasn't.
You see, the autumn of 2008 will forever be etched in history as a period when I became
Wow.
America's finest British import after apple pies.
And moving here almost certainly meant that I'd have to update my spell check settings to American English.
After all, I'd be applying for American jobs online,
Hire me.
addressing American subscribers on social media, and penning incisive news for the Quincy Gazette.
The American fast food chains Burger King and Dairy Queen have concluded their royal tour of a local man's intestines.
Thankfully, American spell check kept me in check. In fact, those red squiggly lines have become very useful before posting on Threads and or Twitter.
Speaking of error messages, remember earlier when I said this? I couldn't physically set up a Sainsbury's account. Well, for the last 3 minutes, my team has been frantically trying to come up with alternatives.
Iceland, the supermarket, not the country, also required a phone number. Tesco wouldn't even let me access their sign-up page. And Asda actually just wanted my email and
Okay.
password. Asda it is. The first thing I noticed on Asda's page was the UK spellings of favourite and centre. Not to mention the use of trolley.
Yeah. We don't say certain things. We don't say trolley. And you know, so no, you know what? I take that back. There's some people here in America do say trolley. A lot of us here in America don't say the same thing. Some of us say trolley. Some of us say shopping cart. Some of us say, what's the other one? You got trolley, shopping cart. Some of the other states don't say shopping cart though. They don't say shopping cart. Buggy, is it buggy? I think they say buggy. So yeah, different. Like I said, here in America, people always think that we all say the same thing. We all do not say the same thing here in America.
Trolley instead of cart.
The inclusion of these British
Cart,
doesn't
shopping
of course
cart,
make sense on a British website for
buggy,
British people.
trolley.
After living in the United
What's the
States for
other
16
one?
years, I just forgot what it was
I
like to
forgot.
access a British website. Not to get too sentimental, but in many ways it was like visiting an old friend. A boring old friend that you once relied on for pasties.
But as an exemplary professional, I was here to do a job, and that job was to compare the checkout experiences of Asda and Target.
I tested each cart slash trolley using a multi-pack of chips, or as they're known in Britain,
Crisps.
crisps. For Target, I'm buying a 10-pack of Lay's
Yes, I'm learning. Yeah, I don't say chips. I say crisps.
Classic. In the UK, Lay's chips are known as Walker's Crisps. However, as is fairly typical in the UK, these often only come in packets of 6, a bit like your average British comedy. And I've never noticed this before, but each store breaks down the cost of an item relative to its weight. So at Target, a 10-pack of Lay's Classic comes in at 67 cents per ounce. At Asda, a 6-pack of Walker's Ready Salted equates to £1.33 every 100 grams. To work out which offers better value for money, I'd need to convert not just pounds to dollars, but grams to ounces, and that's really painful for a Monday. I think Asda has the better deal. Anyway, I added both items to their respective carts and went to the checkout. On Asda's site, I was greeted by an unfamiliar button, book a slot. As the
What?
name suggests, Asda lets you book your shopping delivery like you're reserving a table at a posh restaurant. I chose my delivery for between 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. this Wednesday, on the proviso that I intend to cancel it once this experiment is over. Now, I'm not saying that this is just a British versus American thing, it's just that in general there are two key differences on either side of the pond. Number one, the phrase book a slot is unlikely to show up on American sites where choose a time slot is greatly preferred. And number two, British grocery stores typically offer more precision over delivery time. Asda and Sainsbury's allow you to book a slot by the hour, and for that matter a fortnight in advance, and for my American viewers that's 2 weeks. Whereas Walmart's in-home delivery comes in 4-hour increments.
Yeah,
Target,
4
meanwhile,
hours.
insist I'll get my 10-pack by this.
It used to be shorter than that though. I remember getting myself delivered from Walmart. It was like, it didn't even take that long. I would say like 2 hours. But now it's longer now. Now it's like 4 or even more.
Thursday at
I
an
don't-
unspecified time.
Are they still doing that, though?
Target's delivery times
I
are
haven't
more
shopped in
specific
Walmart
when
in a
ordering
while.
perishable goods. But even then, this is only for same-day purchases. First world problems.
And actually, I won't receive it at all if I don't meet Target's $35 minimum expenditure for delivery. Therefore, I changed the
Damn.
quantity of my purchase to 6. To keep things fair, I did the same at Asda, which does not set limits on your expenditure, but will charge you £3 for orders under 40. Nonetheless, my Target order came in at roughly twice the cost of my Asda purchase, despite boasting only 1.66 more packets. This is especially eye-opening when you can
Why those chips look so good? Oh my god.
consider that these
Why would I
costs
want
include
some
higher
now?
packing and delivery fees at Asda.
I
than
want
at
some chips
Target.
now.
So it's fair to say that compared to Target, when it comes to crisps, Asda really does offer better bang for your buck. Or quid.
Despite all of the many word variations between British internet and American internet, one country will often influence the other. Roger? History reveals that despite the best efforts of Joanna Lumley, the word email soon caught on with Brits, such as Joanna Lumley.
You have email.
Roger Badger, BNN News, Bridlington. If we've learned anything today, it's that the internet, with the potential to bring the entire world together, usually strives to do the opposite. Indeed, on many websites, the English language is represented by an American flag, which is a war crime in Britain. But we've also learned that Britain and America have different words and spellings. I mean, who saw that coming? And we've learned that cookies are all well and good until you have too many of them. What I can't have too much of is patrons. If you would like to support this channel and everything I do, you can do so today at patreon.com/lostinthepond or by clicking the join button below. Until the next video, goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Anyway, comment below. Let me know how y'all feel about this. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.